No, I couldn't. I couldn't afford to go to drama school. It was in those days, back in the '60s. I applied to RADA, but I had to get a scholarship in order to live there. I mean, the local authority, I was living in Bournemouth at the time, and they would have paid my fees, but not my subsistence to be in London. So I would basically, effectively, stop you from going. And I didn't get the scholarship, so I said, well, I'll go to university instead and study music and drama up in Liverpool. And they, gave me lots of money for that. So it was, I really wanted to be a musician originally. I was up in Liverpool. I spent 3 years up there basically playing in a soul band and the Cavern and All Fours and Blue Angel and all the clubs around Liverpool, and doing bits and pieces with the band, a soul band that was in. I was playing saxophone. And towards the end of my time there, I thought, well, I was doing music and drama, and I'd done some stuff with the Everyman or the Playhouse. And I thought, well, what do I want to do after this? And I thought, I'm going to have to work really hard to be as good a musician as I really want to be. And I thought, well, I'm just far too lazy. Acting's dead easy, there are more days off, so that's the route I'll go. And I'd actually seen a children's theatre company while I was there, and I applied to them, and they offered me a job, so it meant I could go in and begin to work as an actor. And then also use my musical skills as an actor as I went through the various jobs that I did. So that's how it all came about. I originally wanted to be a vet, but after 3 goes at trying to get O-level maths and failing, I thought that ain't going to work. So I suppose it was the iconic, the itinerant life of vets. They don't have a set, they have a surgery on certain days, but every day is different. And I don't think I could ever have coped with being in an office where I knew what I was going to be doing every day of the week. I wanted something that was just slightly eclectic and out of there. And my mother was, from a theatrical family. My mother was worked on vaudeville on the stage music halls as a dancer in the soubrettes back in the 20s and 30s. And so I guess the genes were in there, and it was a case of just me taking them on board and carrying on. Fan of Doctor Who? Oh gosh, yes. I mean, hey, I was 16 when it started. 1963, I was geek-centric, front and centre, fanboy completely, with Hartnell and Trout, and I just loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I loved the Daleks and all that, but then I sort of moved away from it, because in those days, we didn't have video recorders or anything streamed, any of that stuff. You either were there in front of the television or you missed it. And I'd moved on to go to university and things like that, so I missed the whole era of Pertwee and Baker, except for the occasional episode. So when it came round to them asking me if I wanted to take over Davros, I had no idea who he was. I knew about Daleks, and I'd been a great fan, and I never thought I'd actually be in the programme. And it was kind of wow, amazing, and so I jumped at the chance. Attack of the Cybermen. Standout memory was being clobbered by a slightly camp Cyberman who basically came over and went, kind of, die you brute, and they have to say, no, you've got to really hit him, And so when he did, he was a big guy, when he eventually did, he nearly took my head off as I shot across the studio floor. But then they said, Terry, we're following you down, and we can see the cord that runs from the back of the set into the TARDIS control to run all the TARDIS controls. Can you die covering the cord? I said, well, yeah, except I'm 5'7", the cord is 15 feet. Which part of me do you want to spread along the cord? So, but yeah, we did that. That was certainly a standout memory. And the first time working with Colin, which was great fun. I mean, the main thing about Revelation was that it was at that point that we discovered the Daleks could fly. Well, we didn't discover it, but we made it kind of canon. And it came about the fact that after I'd had my nemesis in the revolving fish bowl by the assassin, I had to appear at the top of the flight of stairs, and then I had to come down and zap the assassin, William Gaunt. And it meant that they were going to have to shoot this and come down here and do that. And I just kind of innocently said, well, why can't he just float down? I mean, surely he could float. They went, yeah, that's it, right, okay. Shoot against blue screen, in, and so they then put it together so that Davros was hovering over William Gaunt and zapping him with his electrical bolt. And also you saw the glass Dalek begin to rise as it was developing into the full Dalek. And then, of course, obviously in Revelation, you physically saw the Daleks just floating upstairs. So when people say, oh, it's the new series, now the Daleks can fly, so no, they always could. So you just didn't see them before. Remembrance I very nearly didn't do, because I was actually working on another series for Central TV called Tales of Sherwood Forest, which was nothing to do with Robin Hood. It was all about a wine bar in Nottingham called the Sherwood Forest, run by a guy who wanted to turn it into Rick's Cafe American from Casablanca. So we had this kind of double life, that all the people in the Sherwood Forest bar also were the characters from Casablanca. So we flitted in and out, and I played one of three brothers who were sort of like Nottingham's version of the Krays, and we were also the Nazis in the real Casablanca thing. And there was a fairly heavy shooting schedule for that. And when the call came through about Remembrance, I went to the director and he said, no, I can't release you to do that, I just don't have the time. And eventually a kind of a lease lend was organised between the two producers, between John Nathan Turner and Sarah, who was the producer of the Tales of Sherwood, where I sort of worked for the BBC in the morning and Central in the afternoon kind of thing, Although obviously the actual filming days had to be sacrosanct for Central, which meant I could only have one day in the studio, which meant I was meant to do the voice of the battle computer, so everyone thought it was Davros. So the only day in the studio was just literally me doing Davros with Sylve at the other side of the studio, as the Emperor Dalek. And then trying to make sure that the fans didn't realise that by putting a fake name in the Radio Times, which was an anagram of Terry Molloy. It became Roy Tromley. And in fact, I just signed a book today to somebody, from Roy Tromley, and not Terry Molloy. I love doing audios. I really love them. Audio and radio has been my life. It's been the backstory of my life all the time. I mean, I've been the Archers for 45 years. It's, for me, I mean, for an actor, it's my favourite medium, because for an actor, from an actor's point of view, it doesn't matter what you look like or how old you are. If vocally you can do it, it works. So I can do things on radio I'd never be allowed near on theatre or in film or on television, because I'm physically not right, or I'm too old or too young or whatever it may be. But on radio, if you can crack the voice, you can do the part, because you're painting the picture, you're painting that oral picture, which the audience fill in all the gaps on, which is why they always say the pictures are better on radio, because they are, because they're all happening in your head. And Big Finish is part of that whole genre of work, which I love doing and recreating it. And certainly recreating Davros on audio is a lot easier than trying to do it in the studio with all the costume and makeup and all that stuff. It really does make it a lot easier. Monty, this is my bear, Monty. Now, Monty was born in 1936, isn't that true? Yeah, it is. And so he's older than me, but he was in the family. And then when I was born in 1947, listen to me while I'm talking, Monty was given to me. And I loved Monty, didn't I? I loved you to bits. I did, yeah. So much so that he was literally in bits. His arm was off, wasn't it? Yeah, you lost your growl and your nose and eyes, and an ear was off and the stuffing was coming out. So I had him restored, because he's a Merrythorpe bear. And Merrythorpe is sort of the Steiff, the English version of Steiff bears. And I had him restored by an antique bear restorer, and got his claws back, and he's lost all his fur, because he had all this lovely fur when he was little, lovely golden fur. And from then on I said, right, you're going to go around the world with me to make up for all the months and years you lay in a trunk all in bits. And so he's gone all around the world with me. You know, had selfies outside the White House and top of Sydney Harbour Bridge and, you know, by the Hollywood sign and what have you. And got very well known. And it was actually Colin Baker suggested I write a book about him and me, which is what his book, which we brought out a year and a bit ago, called Montmorency Montgomery Bear. And that's his name, Montmorency Montgomery Bear. And the book starts, list and give ear, oh my sweetlings, my dears, whilst I tell you the tale of the bear. I've got several things going on through the summer I can't remember. I'm doing another audio book, which will be the reading of Resurrection of the Daleks, with Nick Briggs filling in the Dalek voices for us. And I'm doing a theatre show in Aldborough, so if anybody's in Aldborough in the summer, through the end of August, I'll be in a play there called Murder in Play. And it's by the writer who writes all the Charles Parrish murder mysteries for theatre. It's very silly, it's very, very actory. And strangely enough, I don't know why, I think it's play. I'm confirmed I have to play against type. I have to play a character who's a bit of an old actor who tells stories about when I was working with Rafe Richardson, you know, and constantly forgets his lines, gets locked in cupboards, and gets very, very drunk, very, very drunk during the course of the play. So I don't know why they thought of me.